Alright, welcome back guys. I'm sure you're aware by now that Sony has dropped a trailer for No Man's Sky. We haven't seen anything in a while, so I thought I'd do an in-depth analysis on this. It seems like there are going to be 4 videos here. The whole thing is titled Guides to the Galaxy. And this one starts off and it says Video 1, Explore. But previously, as I was just showing you, we have Explore, Fight, Trade, and Survive. So this leads me to believe that there's going to be more videos. It just seems logical. I would say that those are probably going to come in the coming weeks to sort of push up the hype train a little bit. So we're going to get one video a week until the game is released. That's just my theory. I think it makes sense. Right away we can see some of the generalized cockpit information that we've seen before, some things that would seem to indicate speed most likely, and this number seems to fluctuate based on how fast the spacecraft is actually going. And then the undiscovered numbers tend to change too, obviously based on what you discovered. And then photon cannon, that's pretty self-explanatory. That's just going to be how much you have in terms of firepower. I may be imagining things, but it looks like there is a number of graphical improvements here. I was more noticing this on some of the asteroids. They look a little less blocky. They've got kind of divots and they have more of a realistic feel to it and structure that makes more sense. Before it didn't look quite right. Maybe it's just this particular asteroid, but this one's looking a lot better. So I might be getting the impression that they have done some upgrades. Once again, this is a trailer, it's not representative of the entire game, so I'm not exactly sure. There's an image here where I'm wondering if this is an aurora borealis, or if it's the light from a sun just sort of peeking around the planet that we can't really see. I think it'll be outstanding if they're able to pull off aurora borealis, because I didn't think that would be something that would be in the game, but I think that would be really cool. Now, Sean Murray and Hello Games have stated that the creatures are going to get more exotic the closer you get to the center of the universe, and this would seem to be just that. I mean, you have these string bean-like animals that are sort of gliding through the air. Before we saw those ones that sort of waved up and down through the air, also very exotic, but you have to admit there is a lot of creativity here, so we're going to see some strange stuff as we proceed towards the center. And then here you have more of a bulbous plant with a big opening at the top, almost like a Venus flytrap. It's also very similar to a plant that I saw in Elder Scrolls Oblivion, I believe, but that's neither here nor there. Now this is interesting because we see cacti, and it's one of the first times that I've seen something pop up that's so distinctively Earth-like, which is kind of strange to me. There's been a lot of trees and stuff that we've seen before that are similar to stuff we have on Earth. It's just instantly clicked in my head. Oh, cactus. I don't know what it was, but it just felt like it kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. Not to say it doesn't look good on the planet. If you look here, we have a first really good shot at a sun in this game. I think we may have seen them before, but this straight on really gives you an idea of what the suns are going to look like. Of course, there's going to be different colors of suns, so this is just one representation. Now here's one of those Venus flytrap plants again. If you look in the lower left hand corner, it says that the temperature is 90.7 degrees C, which is extremely hot. So that gives you the idea that not only are the planets going to be extremely cold like we've seen before on Bellari 5, but they're going to be extremely hot. And I mean, this is kind of something that would be obvious and that we kind of knew, but just to put it in perspective, 90.7 C is 194 degrees for those of you who use the Fahrenheit system. And above that would also seem to have a fire icon indicator. I don't know if this is in relation to the temperature of the planet, it being on the warmer side, but it's very possible. That's what it leads me to believe at this point in time. I just don't know what that particular symbol is specifically, but that would be my best guess. Now I just wanted to point this out because it's kind of cool. I just had to stop and I found this creature that has basically a boulder for a head that I thought was just so amusing. And then you have these plants that are sticking out of the ground like tentacles from an octopus or something. This picture here on the name of the planet that I can't even begin to try and pronounce, you can see something that a lot of people have been complaining about, which is, oh, I haven't seen enough mountains, or I haven't seen anything high enough or rocky enough to sort of be, considered a mountain. I think that's a little bit misguided of an assumption to make, that they're not able to do it, which is sort of the impression that I'm getting from a lot of those people. I think it's definitely possible. Right here you see some very interesting geological formation based on the algorithms that they're using. Just sort of something that looks like it's been eroded over time by a lot of water or something like that. A very cracked terrain and a very large hill/mountain at that. I wouldn't call it a mountain range by any means, but I think it's one of the more interesting screenshots that we've got. In addition, if you look in the lower left-hand corner, once again, this time we don't have the fire icon, we have a radioactive icon. So there's going to be radioactive planets, or at least planets with higher radioactivity. So it'll be interesting to see how we have to deal with something like that. Space whales? Oh wait, he's underwater. Never mind. Not only is the quote at the end here for artistic purposes, but it's also indicative of a lot of the quotes that we'll see when we die. Because every time that you die, you see a quote. And so this is most likely demonstrating that. And a lot of those quotes will be from various different philosophers, as well as Jaden Smith, because he's such a great philosopher. Alright, it's been interesting seeing the new material that they've presented to us, but until the next trailer comes out, which I will analyze, like, comment, subscribe, share, etc. Alright, and I'll see you next time.